I was bred in a city full of greats. Go check your history. Stevie, Marshall. Next day I mention me, the best in the game. MJ, scream victory. I ain't talking Jordan when I say I'm on my sixth grade. The kid who stick things to Mike. Gordy, put the kiddies to bed. These babies is boring. Home of the hustlers, being broke is foreign. Take two of these, call me in the morning. My whip game popper, kick game popper, plus a nickname, sick frame, she need doctor. And not the one to revive the game. Double booking, still we ride the same. On that suicide shit, a do or die shit. From the murder city, murder when we move with I spit. All collapse, lungs done, no breathing. Detroit, the murder capital, cold, all seasons. Go round, go round, go round. Go round, go round. Detroit make the world go round. If they don't know Detroit make the world go round, I don't know what. We influence so many people all over the globe.
What's good? This your girl, Miz Korona, Detroit representative from east side to west side. Pretty much a Michigander through and through. Yeah, I'm an MC, an actress, event host, curator, all of the above, all-out entertainer.
Y'all stand up out the seat. You don't gotta stand up for the whole show, but you can stand up for a minute though.
Well, my beginnings as an artist started actually at the C Note Lounge on East Van Dyke and 7 Mile. And that was the first open mic spot that I had rapped at. And then from there on, I went to Napoleon's Retreat, Ebony Showcase, Coco's House of Comedy, which is around the corner from where we are right now. And I went to the hip hop shop one time, actually, right the week before they closed. And I never got a chance to rap there, so it's really exciting that they reopened. I didn't make it to the grand opening. But I will be going there soon. So, but I am a product of that generation, the hip hop shop generation, you know what I mean? But I never got a chance to actually hit the stage, but yeah. What was the hip hop shop environment like back then? Man, it was a community, you know what I mean? Like it was a very competitive community, you can tell. It was a lot of battle cats. It was a lot of it was a lot of battle rappers that hung out there. You know what I mean? Like I think at that time, that was a really huge scene for. Can you go hear them? Oh, okay. Big Proof was the host. I saw Swifty McVeigh. That was the first time I ever seen Beretta. DJ Dez was a rapper then. It was very competitive, and it made me want to touch that stage because I knew that if I got heard in that atmosphere by that crowd, that I would get accepted. You know what I mean, and gain some notoriety of sorts or some type of attention. And what do I think it will be this time around? I think it will be similar. You know what I mean, but it's just. The whole environment on the music scene in Detroit right now was totally different. We don't really have to go through a lot of the quote unquote initiation stages. These younger artists, they just get out there and go to a lot of these open mic spots. They really created their own lane and their own scene. But back then you had to go through, that C Note crowd, that Napoleon's Retreat crowd, the hip hop shop crowd to be accepted, you know what I mean? And nowadays it's kind of different. Like a lot of these youth, they don't have to go through the same things that we went through, the training ground that we went through. And I appreciate, coming up under those artists that I came up under, Big Proof and Connive and Swifty them, because they were so aggressive and they were so hungry. And if you went on stage after them and you sucked, then it was like you had to go back to the drawing board. But nowadays, it's not like that. You know what I mean? It's a little more lax. It's a little more, a lot of the artists they're really dope, but they kind of sound the same. Back then we were taught to have originality. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't get up there sounding like Proof because you got called out, but now you won't get called out for sounding like the next man. It's like everybody is accepting of it, and that's cool to a degree. But you know, I hope that the reopening of the hip hop shop will bring back the hunger and the originality that it had once before. You know, the industry is so cookie cutter. They wanted it to be where everybody who was hot, it was similar, because that was the formula that they knew would make money, or that they felt would make money. But when you had artists like Queen Latifah and Kwame and, you know, Fresh Prince and, you know, Special Ed, those artists, even Detroit artists, Detroit's Most Wanted, and, you know, Moxie Ski, and you know what I mean? Like, they were trendsetters. They set trends. Smiley, they did things. Boss, they did things that other artists didn't do. You know, the only difference between the Detroit market and the market in the industry is that they have a machine there. They have the machine that constantly produces artists over and over again. Here we don't really have that since Motown is gone. We don't have that for the young crowd, the hip hop scene, the jazz scene, you know what I mean? The techno. We don't really have a label that pushes the artist to the forefront, you know what I mean? But we still have people who are in the industry that come to Detroit and they snatch what we have here. You know, they snatch a lot of concepts. They snatch a lot of the way we dress, the way we, you know what I mean, carry ourselves. It's evident, you know, the what up dolls, and we've been saying that since the 80s. Now you got mainstream artists saying what up though, wearing Cardis. Now they rocking Rockports, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, oh, we've been doing that. What is good, you know what I mean? But it is. 2 Chainz said he gonna be fresh as hell if the feds watching. But these kids trying to duck all the lead popping. Every time I look up, it's a murder, y'all. When they talk magazines, it ain't murder, dog. Or the source or the double XL. They talk about life like they better in hell. No mother, no father, nobody to look up to. Try to kick game, but they screaming out, fuck you. These little lads got a chip on their shoulder. Hearts getting colder, like wait till I'm older. I'ma get bitches, I'ma get rovers, I'ma get riches, I'ma whip Range Rovers. No aspirations. How did I find my voice artistically? I you know what? It was something that I had to work on. You know, just recently over the past 5-6 years, it's just been more of a comfort zone for me to be in my own skin. You know what I mean? Like, I do rap aggressive, but you know, a lot of the times when I get off stage, people are kind of thrown off by my nice demeanor, I guess. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, I thought you were unapproachable because you rap so angry. The aggressiveness in my flow has always been there, you know, and I think that comes from being in such a male-dominated field, and you know, being groomed by some of the most talented artists from Detroit, you know, and then just as I got older and being more comfortable being a woman, and you know, because back then it was like, oh, you can't really, it's a man's world. I've always been comfortable being a woman, but if they don't feel that you're sexy or sexed up, then they try to push you back. And I'm like, well, I've always been feminine. You know what I mean? Like, even the way I dress might throw people off, but when they talk to me, like, oh, you're more feminine than I thought. But I'm a woman. It's not a question. It's not, you know, second guessing or anything, you know, but just having that balance, I think it just started becoming second nature as I became more comfortable with who I am as a person, you know, and letting people, like, if either you accept me for who I am completely or you don't, you know. It's like the game ain't the same. No, young, bro. It's like the game ain't the same without me. I'm the best, and shame on any nigga that doubt me. You can test and fail with flying colors. Them bullets fly, hit frail bodies and mothers, bury sons or daughters. I slaughter anybody blocking my path. Subtract any nigga stop on my math. I sip they cock and I blast. Quickly stop his ass. What took so long for the albums to come out? Well, just like I touched on about finding the balance. The industry really, anytime I ever submitted music to a label, they never turned me down for not being dope. They turned me down for not being sexy enough, not being feminine enough, not being, you know, like other female artists, so to speak. So they didn't know what to do with me. And then I got a production deal from a producer group here, and I was with them for about 5 years, and it was really dope. You know, we made some really great music out of that 5 year time span, but financially and creatively, I don't think that they could take me where I knew I needed to go, because I didn't need anybody in my adult stage of my career telling me what I should do to be accepted. You know what I mean? Like, I am accepting of myself. My fans are accepting of myself. I don't feel like I need to change my style or the way I dress or anything for anybody. You know what I mean? So that this didn't work. It was a lot of things, a lot of situations that hindered any product coming out. So in 2010, I had worked with a producer at the end of 2008, you know, beginning of 2009, named Chains, and we ended up producing, creating 2 albums in a year time span. So I just scraped up every dollar I could, and I said I was going to put out my own albums independently, the best way I knew how. So that's how Dope Music and the Injection came about, and it's still a struggle. You know, I've been sitting on half of an album that's ready to go for about 2 years. It's in and I say half because it's in a recreation stage right now.
Okay.
And I'm still 100% independent because labels don't know what to do with me, because
Yeah.
I'm not what they are used to. I'm not, you know,
Yeah.
they don't know how to market me. And the thing is that I'm not the only one, you know, especially when I opened up about my sexuality. They really were afraid, like, oh, we don't know, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not an alien,
Yeah.
you know, but I would always hear from label execs, well, you're out rapping the guys. Can you tone it down? Can you pull it back? Can you sex up the image? We want you to cut your hair. This is when I first started growing my locks. And I'm like, no, like, I mean, and these were letters that I got back from major labels. And at the time, Eve and Little Kim was, you know, they were on top, and they're like, well, you know, if the image was more like this. And I'm huge fans of Eve and Little Kim, but I'm a huger fan of myself. And I just, and even my parents were like, well, why don't you just compromise to get the deal and then, you know, be yourself later? You can't do that. You know, you can't do that. You selling yourself out for one, and for what reason? Who's to guarantee that my album would even come out? And then I have to look at myself in the mirror every day and not be happy about, you know, compromising myself.
Right. Yeah. You talk about Detroit a lot
Yes.
in your songs.
Yes.
I hear you say it. Do you feel that's important to do, and why?
I feel like you say I rep Detroit a lot in my music. Yes, I do. As you can see, I'm rocking a brand from Detroit. Detroit people moving right now. Shout out to them. Shout out to everybody in Detroit that's making moves and represent. I feel like it's important. When you hear cats from the West Coast represent where they from, and New York and Philly, you know what I mean? Like, why not? You know, Detroit is a very, man, rich musically, you know, and spiritually. Like, so why not mention it? We've done a lot to shape the industry, musically, and all different type of facets. You know what I mean? So why not rep Detroit? And back in the day, I used to get a lot of flack for saying Detroit too much, because back then, you know, we felt like we had to move away to gain notoriety and gain success. And I've been asked to move to different places and thought about it and toyed with it and played with it, but I feel like, why go somewhere else and help build up their market when I could stay here and help build up the market here and help, you know, mold some of these youth the way I was molded, you know what I mean, back in the day. So yeah, it's very important to represent Detroit. It's where I'm from. It's where I get my inspiration. It's where I live and breathe. I get my nurturing here. You know what I mean? Like, I get love from the elders, from the youth, from the community. Like, that's me. I am Detroit. So it's very important, you know, but I am more than just Detroit as well. But that's what my roots are.
Who made you?
That's who made me.
What up, bro? I hope that you rockin' with me. I'm trying to leave my mark to make sure you never forget me. A lot's changed in the past 2 years. I lost a lot of friends and surpassed a few peers. Trying to make it to the finish line. All these years of being denied shit. Niggas finna give me mine. I done had A&Rs like a strange executives in the game. Steady telling me to change, right? This ain't your lane. We should pick another. Fuck all y'all. You can keep the rubber. I die celibate before I die relevant. I'm about to act a sucker for these clowns. No elephant. Or a big top. Spare through the pit stops. I ain't slowing down to the world. No, my shit hot. Hey, you might as well get used to me. Cause I'm headed to the top where the truth should be. Hey, cause I won't change. No, and I won't change for no man. I can only be who I am. So take me. Cause I won't change. No, and I won't change. Growing up, I was confused. They called me kissing a girl. They told me straighten up, it's a cold, cold world. People won't accept that lifestyle that you live in. From that moment on, I got used to pretending. Living in a fantasy, trying to live a normal life. They said I was a freak. Told me I wasn't normal like I was blowing horns. A storm from the devil's pit. Told me I was hellbound, but I was living devilish. So I used to pray every day. He had changed me. Praying that the Lord would one day rearrange me. I felt like an outcast, black sheep, misfit. Even thought of suicide. Almost slit my wrist shit. But he made me stronger. Showed me forgiveness. He was there to give me strength so I could go the distance. As I got older, Dewey didn't make mistakes. Had me get some bruises to get to where I am today. Hey, cause I won't change. No, and I won't change for no man. I can only be who I am. So take me for who I am. Cause I won't change. No, and I won't change for no man. I can only be who I am. Yo, my name is Korona. Thank y'all for rocking with me. If anybody is interested in hearing more music, I got CDs for sale for $5. Or you can catch me on Instagram, Twitter, at Miz Korona, that's M-I-Z, K-O-R-O-N-A. Make some noise for my DJ Lows. Thank y'all. Peace. Miz Korona, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Miz Korona.